Korea and Italy, potentially USA, but this team are through. They have been impressive throughout just the one defeat. There's the lineup, and looking in good shape as they always do. Wang Haitao, the skip, Zhang Mingliang, Chen, Jianqin, Li Nana. And that's how they've fared so far. Just that one loss to Canada,
People's Republic of China,
who are unbeaten
Sweden
in this round robin. Here we are with Sweden. Bit of a change. Marcus Holm, the alternate, in at second. Pettersson Dahl, Hugo Pettersson Dahl, the skip. Third, Ronnie Persson. Kristina Ulander will lead. There are their numbers, 3 losses. So a bit of work to do for Sweden here, and they couldn't have tougher opposition. 2 skips in the middle together. Great foes. They met in Beijing 4 years ago. China were victorious. And there are the standings for you, showing the shoe. 2 qualified teams, Canada and China. Sweden in a very good position. Just need to make sure. The other matchups, that's going to be a cracker on sheet A as well. Canada against the Republic of Korea. But we are concentrating on this one, People's Republic of China against Sweden. Yu Xingxuan, coach of the mixed team. And Peter Narup, the coach for Sweden. He's played in 3 Olympic Winter Games. And back with some medals as well. Has been coach of this team for 3 games. Ice temperature really important, more the humidity that they'll be looking out for as people come into the stadium. The humidity can change. You can see the slight pebbles on the ice. They've been frozen water droplets, and they're cut to allow the stone to curl on top and glide over the ice, because it's a long, long way from one end to the other, especially without a sweeper. And these athletes have to be so precise with their deliveries. Li Nana, the 38-year-old lead player for China, will get us underway in this round-robin game. Sweden were closest to the button in the last stone draw, so they will have the hammer. Just into the house at the top of the 12-foot. Throwing the lead stones for Sweden is Kristina Ulander, 44 years old. This team have been together a while. But they live in different parts of Sweden, so it's been difficult for them, or it's a challenge rather, to practice together. Another stone into the house. They've had some injuries as well in the lead up to these games, but everything settled down for Sweden. Retained 4 out of the 5 players from Beijing, and going for it again. Lost to this team, of course, in the final. Takes out the Swedish stone and hangs about as well. Good execution from Li Nana, just doing what the skip asked of her. Always good to keep your stone in as well. Could play a part later on. Yolanda for Sweden. Does the job. But did want her stone to stick around. Couldn't manage that on that occasion. Left-handed player. Chen Qiangqing. Yes, it's gone, it's gone. You can just watch and wait and hope that your line's right. This is coming around nicely, really nicely. Ideally behind his other red on the same level. Just a bit beyond the tee line, that cross in the middle. Just liked it to have been ahead of that. Leaves you a bit more room for manoeuvre. First look at Marcus Holm. He's been an alternate in some of the games. And playing second for the Peterson Dalrymp. He's a left-hander as well, and he's 52, as you can see. Giving this some weight. Catches that top one. That was the plan. Hit and rolled out. So half job done, really. Inanna stabilising Chen Qiangqing's chair there. Not sure he can throw with confidence. And this is just going a little bit further than he would have liked into the 12-foot area. See the time clocks in the background. That's the thinking time for each team between deliveries. They're thinking about the shot and the strategy. Straight down the centre line here for Marcus Holm. Wants to stick, gets a little roll into the middle. Just trading takeouts at the moment, both teams. Zhang Liang, 39-year-old. It's a slight roll towards his other. And two stones as close as that, quite difficult to remove together. So, good smile, good bit of action from Zhang Mingliang. Ronnie Persson, a bit of a superhero in the world of Paralympics. And bronze at the Nagano Winter Paralympics in men's downhill. He does manage to clear one. 3 silver medals in the Super G as well, and the men's giant slalom. Bronze in the downhill. So the switch to curling has brought a silver, but he would love gold. Haito guiding Zhang Liang. You will hear lots of roaring from the Chinese, and in particular the skip. Good separation of the two Chinese stones there. Could never get those out with one shot. And lots of support for them as well. They're a very popular team, and everybody loves to play this team. And they know they all have to up their game when they take on China. But the expertise is in this Swedish team to take this game right to the Paralympic champions, current champions from Beijing. Hits and rolls into the centre. So keeping it simple. It's all about the build-up. Not making any mistakes that have too much impact. That's the aim, that's where Wang Haitao is aiming. It's not necessarily where it'll finish, but that's the initial trajectory, and then we will watch it. It's giving this a lot of weight. Just gets the one. Hits and sticks. Sweden have the hammer, remember. So it suits China not to have too many stones in play. That Sweden can create something from. This is the other skip, Viggo Pettersson-Dahl. Skip in Beijing. Real student of the game, watches and learns. Tactician, even. Takes the Chinese stone away. Wang Haitao, left-hander, great takeout specialist. And they're going for a third gold at the Paralympic Winter Games, and they're certainly on course in terms of the results so far. His final stone of this first end. More controlled weight here. They want it to pull up.
出手就是圆心的劲儿。13.3。其实那个点差不多。那个点这个刚那个点再大点。
Difficult to remove both of those if they were thinking of blanking the end, Sweden. So the draw. Is the order of the day. Or is he going to try and hit and roll? Hit and stick even, and he is. Oh, and he manages to get both out too. Excellent, excellent shot by Pettersson Dahl to count 1 for Sweden. Good execution from the skip, using the raise to remove 2 red stones. And just the right distance apart, those reds for Pettersson Dahl to have a go at. Steady start then for Sweden. And China will be happy at restricting them to 1. So after end number 1 in this round robin game, it's China 0, Sweden 1. Second end of this game between China and Sweden. The Paralympic Winter Games finalists from 4 years ago. And China were victorious. Onto the centre line for the lead player, Kristina Yolanda. Now with the hammer, China will want to start building something here. And these lead stones and their positioning, really important as the end progresses. Their placement guides how the rest of the end will go. She wants to get this tucked in on that centre line. It's curling a little bit far, but that's a really good draw from Linana. Draw this time from Swedish lead. Again looking on that centre line, and just that's a good position for Sweden.
Vad hade du? 13-1?
13-3.
Nicely placed by Kristina Yolanda. Just, if you always want more, on the line, just above the button. And as you can see, it's gettable from the other end. China can see plenty of it, so just a bit far over. right now China concentrating on getting another of their own in there. And that one is counting, and it's China counting 2. Another excellent draw from Li Nana. Practice and practice these draws. Look at that, beautifully done.
Bra! Bra satt, Mackan!
Controlled weight here, following a similar pathway to Li Nana of China. We get a bit of protection up here at the top of that 12-foot on the centre line.
Jag tar lite vatten.
Second player for China, Chen Qianxin, coming down the other side of the ice. Clears the guard.
10秒3，这活还是掉线大点啊。行，反正就往782过去，差不多吧？差不多。782，来不了。
To the front of the house, circle area all open now. China counting 2. No two ends are ever the same.
Bra satt, Mackan!
Marcus Holm heading down that side as well. Wants to get him, try and promote his own here if he can. Just give it a wee nudge. Beautiful. Claps from his teammates. Good execution from Marcus Holm.
Sorry.
The weight was all important here. Had to make sure the curl-in nudges his own into position. Excellent play. We might see a bit more nudging going on here. There's the broom and the placement. Needs to catch that yellow. He's getting the line right and stability ahead of the throw. Shuffles things around, raises against the yellow and removes the yellow and his own red. But bottom line is big smile. And 2 Chinese stones counting. Excellent play from the Chinese second. Already seen a variety of shots in this end. Takeouts, double takeouts, raises, draws. They're certainly in good control of the weight. How's this one looking for Ronnie Persson? Can catch his own. I think he kind of knew before he threw that it wasn't, the line wasn't quite right. He needed to be just a bit further around, didn't he? And it's given China a bit of a bonus there. Now they only have one Swedish stone to deal with, and the shouting always helps, doesn't it? Here it comes, the hit and roll into the centre. Excellent play from the third, Zhang Mingliang, delighted with that. An absolute peach of a shot from him. Look at this, gets the angle perfectly, hits and rolls right into the centre, joining the other two red stones. Made it look easy. There's always drama when Team China are involved. Always exciting to watch. Does he look happy with it? It's all about the line here. Double takeout from Ronnie Persson. Oh, not quite. One red still hovering, but keeps his own stone in. Good execution there from the Swedish third. Just gets the angle right. The important one was the two in the middle. Let's see what Zhang Mingliang comes up with this time. Third player, more shouting, more shouting. Oh, it's another hit and stick, and China counting three. Look at that, and well spread out. Moving three stones in a honour is impossible. They've been together, they're a bit closer. So China in a great position in this end. Super takeout from Zhang Mingliang. Sweden don't look too concerned. They just need to make sure they've got one in the house. As we move to the skip stones. And there's the broom from Ulanda. And where he is aiming.
Kom igen, den har du.
So Sweden hit and sticky for one. Isn't really much else he could do apart from that, Petter Sandal. And certainly asks the question of his opposite number, Wang Heitao. huge amount of energy into that shot. And here goes the shouting. Hits and rolls. Wants to make it difficult for Pedersendal to remove those stones. But China looking good for a score of 3 in this end.
Tjapp på den första är bra också! Tjapp på den första är bra. Till och med över. Kom igen nu.
Den har du. Hela vägen nu. Fokus.
Watching, targeting this left-hand side, these red stones on the left. Shifts one. That was a missed opportunity. It's always going to be a bit tricky with the yellow in the way, protecting almost the red stones, the only Swedish yellow there. Now the Chinese skip. Wang Haitao. Final stone of this second end. Sweden leading 1-0. China looking for a good score here. And then number 2. The roars coming from the other end, but it's going to be a really nice draw from China into the button. Excellent draw from the skip. And it looks like 3 is that one biting. On your left-hand side, is it 4? Definitely 3. It is 4. What a start for China with the hammer. They lead 4-1 after 2 ends. And really, it was that shot that did it. 2 excellent takeouts from the third player, Zhang Mingliang. Big claps all round, and no wonder. And a good draw into the centre for 4. So after 2 ends, it's now China 4, Sweden 1. And you can see just how quickly a big score can happen. Just with a couple of missed shots. And the key for China was they spread out their stones. And the team have put the squad have put a lot of time and resources into building for these Paralympic Winter Games. They've been training in Cortina an awful lot. This is end number 3. China leading 4-1. Lead player. The first stone into the back of the 12-foot area.
Kom igen, den har du.
Bra, Kiki. Bra, Kiki.
Guard up for Sweden. They have the hammer this time. Any team in this mixed team event is capable of beating the other. Especially in the top 6. China, current world champions as well. 2025 beat Korea, Canada with the bronze. And we expect these teams to be in the mix at the end of the Paralympic round robin as well. Lead player making sure the stone's well separated. If you look at the stats at the end of the event, where the lead players have performed, the teams have usually done pretty well. They are a key part of the team. Long guard from Ulanda. Plenty of space down the middle though, very open. Chen Qian Chin. Heading through the guards. A wee bit on the heavy side. But that's a useful spot from Chen Qian Chin. Good draw from Marcus Holm. And higher up the rings, and that just above the tee line, that crossed area in the middle. So good position. Chen Qian Chin looking to move some stones, takes out the yellow. Again, good execution from China.
7秒。
7秒1，真优秀。王阳良7秒13。
Importantly, not disturbing his own red. More controlled weight down the centre here from Marcus Holm. Almost replicating his other. He's going to sidle up behind the Chinese. That's a nice effort. Good weight. Liang targeting Marcus Holmstone here. We're going to see some granite being shifted again. Here it comes. Good takeout. Removes the trouble. Sacrifices his own, but because of the placement of the stones, that was unavoidable. Chinese stones lying and counting for the world and Paralympic champions. Straight down the middle here, going to shift some of his own too. Oh, lovely double takeout from Ronnie Persson. The angle was spot on. All in a day's work. Ideally, we could have enabled his own to stick around. That's what he's thinking. Xiangming Liang. We always expect things to get moving when he's playing. The Chinese third. But this time, it's not. Is it going to pull up? It's not. Just overdoing it. Sweden with the hammer. Not a lot happening at the moment in terms of building up shots and numbers here for Sweden. Let's see where this finishes. Beginning to curl down that right-hand side. And just biting on the edge of the 12-foot. As we head back up the rink. For skips stones in this third end. Great four for China in the second end. It really has given them a commanding lead at this stage. Haitao. He can play with the gentle weight too, as we saw with that four. How far is this going to go? Trying to get it to pull up a bit. So 2 Chinese stones in the house. China line 2. They're far enough away from each other not to be a problem for China.
Kör 13-5.
Ja, där någonstans.
Bra.
Peterson down.
12-6.
Beginning to curl now. Right beside that Chinese stone and undercover as well. Absolutely perfect draw from Peterson Dahl.
12-8 det gör.
Ja, det tar det.
An absolute beauty. What delicate play here. Oh. Freeze is one of the hardest shots in curling. My goodness. Couldn't be closer. Excellent play by Sweden. Stone for on Haitao. There's it heading similar line to Ronnie, to Peterson Dahl, and that's equally as good. But it's gettable. Just bouncing off a little too much. Popular figure in the curling world.
Hela vägen nu. Sträck ut ordentligt. Kom igen.
Final stone of the third end for Sweden and Peterson Dahl. How many points can they secure here for Sweden? Close that gap on China. Big weight here from Peterson Dahl. Hits and rolls. Oh!
8-5.
Does it roll too much for Sweden? Gets the red stone out. Cleanly out, but just rolls just a bit too far. Unlucky. Tiny margins again, but it is just the one for Sweden. Family and friends, no doubt, who they're supporting. And after 3 ends, it's now China 4, Sweden 2. Well, that was such a hard-worked point for Sweden. Managing to clear away a lot of the danger. And then this final one just rolling a bit too far out of a counting position. 3 ends played, 4-2 to China.
Kom igen nu. Bra!
This is the fourth end of this China-Sweden round-robin game.
14-9.
China with a 4-2 lead and have the hammer in this fourth end, the last stone advantage. China limiting, forcing Sweden to take just one in that last end. This is a nice stone from the Chinese lead. On the button and behind the cover of the top guard. Look at it curl round.
Hade ni på hennes? Ja, sorry William.
Ingen fara. Okej, Kiki. 15 så.
And they are told to get that second run into the rings.
Ja, lite.
Ja, jag tycker det.
Men det känns, den kanske trycks in lite. Vi har ju på 6 och sen hamnar han väl på 5 eller något.
Milano has been absolutely spot on with her stones. The weight has been excellent. This one on the centre line is the best position. And again, excellent execution.
Bra! Lite tajt.
Nice controlled weight here. Marcus home. Those 3 stones on the top of the house, not really. Those last couple of draws have been missed for Sweden. They need a stone in the house. Janshin. Aiming right out to the wings. Get the stone to curl in. As it's beginning to do now. Finding its way past those top guards. Is it curling too much? It is going to, just flips that guard, which affects the run, but actually ends up in a decent spot. And he's not too upset about that at all. It's just a whisper, isn't it? A piece of paper. Great position nonetheless. Sitting close to the wind, China, but getting away with it. Sweden really does need one of these stones to get in the house and count. Get past the guards. Catch again. I'll spread the guards out a little bit. But the draw's just not quite happening for Sweden. And they are for China. As you can see by those 3 stones. And then for China. Jiang Jing, left-hander, right out to the buffers. And watch how it comes in. They needed that because of that outside guard. Just going to be a little bit too heavy. It will still count. Excellent draw again by China. 4 in the mix now. The world champions. Look how much it comes round. Again, just drifting on top of that tee line. Would have been ideal if you're a China fan. This time, Sweden trying to get one in, and Ronnie Persson is the man that will try and do that. Huge advocate of wheelchair curling back in Sweden, hoping they do well and inspire others to take up the game. And again, similar story for Sweden. Wrecking that top guard. Does mean that China has to come out really wide here to get another one in. Zhang Mingliang with that task. Here's the weight on this one. Is it going to get past? Yes, it is. It's beginning to curl now. Again, just beyond the tee line. A decent draw too from Zhang Mingliang. There's a sea of reds in the house. Big smiles all around. Several very good stones from Team China. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is looking very dangerous for Sweden. This is all about the line. This time, it's looking wide enough this time, but is it going to curl? Big weight on it. Went to the other extreme, Ronnie Persson. China still live 5 in this 4th end. So Ronnie Persson better with the line, but the weight. China just been on top of that in this end for sure. Second stone for Jean Milano. Yep. Bit of protection. Excellent placement. Stops Yellowstone coming in there for a raise and promoting their own stones. Sweden into the, oh, big smile from Haital. No wonder you're smiling if you're China. Look at that. Sweden really up against it here as we reach these skip stones. Down really needs to make his stones count this time. Looking for it to curl. Not at all. That looked really straight. Sweden running out of stones and facing 5. Jean swaps places with the skip. Gets back up the other end, gets himself set for his pre-delivery routine. Secures archer in position. Watches the line. And he's watched his team members be very effective down here. What can the skip do? It is beginning to curl. It's getting past that guard fairly easily, and it's another one into the mix for China. Fantastic play from this team. It's been a real team effort in this end. Everyone has played a part. Look at this. And it's not easy, as you can see by how Sweden have fared with these draws. Expertly done. Well, if you're Sweden, what do you do here? You're facing a huge counter of 6 stones with your final stone. How can Pettersson Dahl rescue this situation? Even that guard, the red guard of China, has made life just that bit more difficult. All he needs to do is try and promote one of his stones, one of the yellows, into the mix and hope that that limits the damage. Here it goes, final stone of this 4th end for Pettersson Dahl. He gets rid of 1. Doesn't really change things too much. It's still 5, and Wang Haitao still has another stone to go. There wasn't much else he could do there, really. The damage was done. One, 2, 3, 4, 5 Chinese stones. What a position they're in this 4th end. A big score coming up for China as they head into the break. Final stone, fourth end. Wang Haito down the other side. Is he going to add another? Oh, it's coming in, it's coming in. Is it going to get beyond the outside? It is. My goodness, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 celebrations all round, smiles all round, muted celebrations. What a number for China. 6 as it pops up on the scoreboard. What a standout number. And that's a long, long road back now for Sweden. And that was all about the draws, making those draws. And China made them and Sweden didn't. So after the fourth end, it's now People's Republic of China 10, Sweden 2. There's the accuracy numbers for Sweden, and lead has been the best player. So the setup's been all right. It's been the execution after that that's been the issue, and I'm sure they're talking about that right now. And definitely down in this game compared to earlier performances. And by contrast, China, well, 91% Li Nana. She has been excellent throughout. Skip, great numbers too. And the second and third as well. And that reflects in the scoreline. I don't think they've missed anything. I can't remember they've missed anything. One slightly heavy draw. First end. Now with a double takeout here to score 1. Then wanted more. The second end. China with the hammer. And we're lying 2. And Sweden were unable to remove. And Wang Haito lifted this one for 4. And he makes it to lead 4-1. And the third end. Again, China counting. And Peterson Dahl ultimately was forced to take 1. Could have been 2, but just slipped out into the 12-foot. And then what about this end, the fourth end? All sorts of problems for Sweden, and a super draw for 6 for the Chinese, and a commanding lead going into the break. 10-2. 83% accuracy for China, 52 for Sweden. 82 on the draws. That's been the telling point. 50% on the draws for Sweden. That's the area of the game that China have capitalised on. And the takeouts have been excellent too.
Yep. I'm going up with it right now. Where is it?
Kom igen nu.
Bra ni. Nu kör vi.
Kom igen Mackan.
Nu kör vi.
Nu kör vi.
Sabina. Wow.
Sweden will try and get their energy back for part two, but that's a tough old ask after losing 6 in the fourth and 4 in the second. It's not the play we expected from Sweden. But this quartet have been sensational in their execution. They are the world champions and the Paralympic champions for a reason. And they have been working towards this event for months and months and months, years even. Here's the numbers for you. The standout figures, the 4 and the 6 in the second and the fourth end. So this is the fifth end of the round-robin game between China and Sweden. China 10-2. As a lead player, she has done all game. Puts her stone into the perfect position. Landa. We'll put up the guard.
Sabina, du ska bara dra sen.
Important to keep the spirits high and the energy good in the Sweden team. They know they're capable of clawing some of these points back. Look at that stat for Linana. Just goes about the bare business. Such perfect placement. This one coming round under the guard. Round and round a bit. Again, good separation of the stones. Landa has been the best performer in the Swedish team thus far. She needs to keep doing what she's been doing. Another long guard from Sweden. On to our second players.
Farten också.
13-5 kanske? 13-2?
Ja.
Sabina Johansson in. Ronnie Persson, as you can see, sitting behind in the coaches area.
12-6.
12-5.
It's just
12-5.
Bra linje
they stick
Sabina.
around,
Går den
but
rakt igenom
a
eller?
bit heavy. It's a biter.
Ja, men det är okej. Ja.
剩哪个？
Sweden with the hammer. And end number 5. China's strategy, restrict their options.
压线了，刚才。啥？
压线。
啊？
哦，说你刚才压线了，意思是？
刚才摆的太靠外压线了。
我能看见，我还没推呢。
The bright smile from Linana. Just making sure Chen Qianqin is secure. Straight down the middle. Big weight. Clearing. Again, doesn't want too many stones in play.
13-5 då.
Even clearing your own can be part of the plan. So Sabina Johansson in at second. Also moving up to third for Sweden. So big change in position and personnel
Bra Sabina!
might help things. That's a good stone. Zhang Mingliang, third player. Going to shift them things here. Catches the guards, he's going to catch his own. Oh, and promotes it to the centre. Not quite what he was after. Centre stone, very exposed. Marcus Holm playing third. Again, the line just not quite there. It was targeting that Chinese on the button.
Jag hade ingen tid. Jag hörde.
Oh, not much in it, but the impact that a centimetre can have. Zhang Liang going to move some granite here. Gets rid of that biter. On the outside of the 12-foot. Good bit of clearing from Zhang Liang, just removing any potential stones that could count at some point.
Niklas, fokus på kvast.
This time for Marcus Holm. Pretty straight. That's what he wanted to do the last time. Straightforward takeout.
Får se vad de gör. Drar de bakom eller slår de?
Jag tror att de slår. Frågan är
Hope to just roll and keep his own in. Just too much on it, and away it goes. Wang Hai-Tu really thrusting the extender there. Bang goes the guard. Everything very open, and China counting one. So certainly have got rid of all the stones that could potentially count in any capacity further down the line for Sweden. And Sweden with very little options. Not making life easy for this man. It's been a difficult hour or so for this team. Love it to sidle up behind the red here, beside the red. Is it counting stone? Wanted it to just be on top of it. Really good in terms of weight, just, I think, counting. China won't be too worried, being 10-2 ahead. Tao has his eye on that yellow-red jewel. 92% with his takeouts. He's had 3 and they've been all perfect. Here it comes. Bang! And both they go. And his own stays in to count 1 for China. Beautiful execution from the 36-year-old world champion, Paralympic champion. China really in fantastic form in this game. And Sweden are bit part players in the drama. And Sweden are such a good team. And all Pettis and Dahl can do now is get this one into the house. And it's not going to reach. No, it's not going your way. It's not going your way. And it's a steal of 1 for China.
Vi spelar sen.
Jag tycker vi spelar sjätte. Sabina får känna lite på isen.
Ja,
Och så
helt
spelar
rätt.
vi upp färderna.
Det är bra för dig att få
Jag tycker
känna
vi
på
spelar
isen.
sjätte.
Vi måste ju spela 6 omgångar i alla fall.
Minimum of 6 ends to be played. And after 5, People's Republic of China 11, Sweden 2. China just not missing anything in this match, and in that last end, just clearing everything away, leaving Sweden with little options, and ending up with a steal of 1 in the 5th, and that 6 was the killer blow for Team Sweden. Really tough to get back after that. Sweden will want to finish this game with some positivity. A score. Finish well.
Lika fin som alla de andra corners.
Jajamän.
But it's a big ask against a team that's playing so well, and just not missing anything. And the confidence that that brings. Long guard by Sweden. Just need it to be just a little bit further down towards the rings. Linana in the rings.
Kom igen nu Lettland och kom igen Norge. Bit i nu då.
Kom igen,
Kanada, kör på
It's
bara.
been a struggle for Sweden. An awful lot of that is down to China's good play, but Sweden will know they've made misses where they don't normally, particularly with those draws and that end that China won with 6. He's just going to hang on. It's one of the few errors we've seen Linana make. When you're 11-2 ahead, can afford the slight error occasionally.
Ja, det gör vi.
And this is a nice stone.
Den är ju inte curlande den där sista tycker inte jag.
Nej,
Det var ju bra.
den är kanske rakare. Den är trevligare att dra med i alla
Den
fall.
känns som att den är ganska rak.
Ja.
Om man jämför med första.
Ja.
Och minska isen på den
Wanted
lite.
it just maybe a little bit more behind that top guard so that they were level. It can be peeled or used at another point. Claps from his teammates. Jin. With one into the house with some protection, but it didn't curl quite enough. And you can see it poking out there behind the yellow. Sabina Johansson. They need to get one into the rings, and a nice wee rub off the red onto the button. A wee bit of luck there. Just guided it in. The band around the middle is the hitting band, and that's the tough granite, doesn't chip. You see the stones almost springing off. A little ragged with his delivery there, but it will settle. And plenty of weight targeting that yellow. Good take out from Chen Tianqin, clearing things away. Similar line for Sweden. Trying to get another one in. No discounting. Two well-placed draws from Sabina Johansson. But again, Zhang Mingliang this time has his eye on that. Here it comes, plenty of weight. Bang, and off it goes. Catches his other, but that won't bother him too much. Clears the danger. The next one that Sweden get into the house. They want to try and get it behind the red. Curl it in behind that red at the top of the green forefoot area, if they can.
13-5, 13-2, någonstans där. Det är perfekt.
Bra! Bra så här.
Bit more weight on this. Here it comes. They need it to curl. They need it to curl around as much as they can. That's a really, really good effort from Marcus Holm. Behind this yellow is the ideal position. Quite a lot of it still poking out. And that's the task of Zhang Mingliang. Accurate 77% of the time in this game, which is really good. So here he goes. The textbook shout. Bang again. Another excellent clean takeout from China and Zhang Mingliang. We haven't seen him miss yet. Anything that Sweden serve up, China just dismisses. Sweden try again. Same line.
Fan att de alltid hamnar precis.
China can see the full thing now. The full stone. Skip stones in end number 6. Haidao looking intently down that centre line. We've seen it a few times now. Hits and sticks for 3. And China looking good in this end as well.
Vill du ha här, Viljo?
Ja, det har ökat rätt mycket mot innan. Det borde räcka.
Bra. Sätter den bra.
Slightly wider route-in from Pettersson Dahl. Trying to squeeze it through this port here. Good effort.
Den där hade inte curlat upp. Tyvärr.
Didn't curl like you thought it would. Was hoping it would
Den hade lagt upp den.
inch through and curl round behind the Reds. Look at that, 89%. Wang Haidao. Incredible curling. The precision is just exceptional. I love the way they shout, encouraging that stone. Hits and rolls for 4. They've just been unstoppable, this team, in this game. Nothing has hindered them in their bid for the win. And in this kind of form, any team is going to struggle against them.
Kom igen, den sitter nu.
Even someone as skillful as and experienced as Pettersson Dahl. The last stone of this 6th end. China looking very good indeed for another multiple score. Can Pettersson Dahl make this one count? Finally, can he make it count? Can he make it count? Yes, he can. A sigh of relief. That one has finally worked out. Here it comes in. You just wanted one to work out for Sweden there, didn't you? And they claim that point against many counters and have closed the gap ever so slightly. After 6, China 11, Sweden 3.
Men då kanske vi
They're looking at the scoreboard.
Spela den sådär superoffensivt och eller ska vi göra det för att se?
Look at this draw, finally, one worked out for Sweden. Just a centimetre or so, but it counted. Six ends played. China 11, Sweden 3.
Jajamän, 15-5.
Lugn och fin.
Yes.
Center! Bra!
We're on to the 7th end. This game between China and Sweden. China 11-3 ahead. After 2 big scores in the second and the fourth. Sweden right up against it here, but just wanting the score just to look a little more respectable, finishing the game on a high. Facing a very, very good Chinese team, and absolutely these players here on top form for China. Nothing has been missed. Linana has been one of their key players for sure. Excellent set-up play, although that one was meant to be a draw. Into the house. And didn't cross the hog line. Just on the hog line. If it doesn't cross, it's removed, but it is on it. Or maybe just over. One coming into the house, ideally behind her other guard. That's pretty much perfect. Ahead of the tee line. Sabina Johansson.
Vad hade du på den där? Ja, men
Bra bara.
14 kanske. Ja, den var kanske lite över 14.
He's also looking to get that one into the house. Quite there with our draw. So here comes Chen Qian-chin. The job of shifting the guards.
Yeah.
Bra.
Certainly given this one a bit more weight. Is it too much? Go from one to the other. Doesn't hang about.
Man kan både känna att hoppa draga, va?
Trying to clear away guards, any danger suits them to have as few stones in play as possible. Leave Sweden with nothing to play with. They don't need to build a big score. Just play the scoreboard, China now.
Kom igen, 13-5.
Bra.
Marcus Holmhaus, his draw weight.
14-2. Jag tycker ändå att det är rätt marginal där.
Curling.
14-3.也有
这边
上关。
是
行。
Just waiting on instruction from the skip. Just having another look at it.
行也行。来打中间，能不能把那个挤进去呀？好的。不好。
He's going to come and have a quick look himself, just to see the angles.
这个球先不打这边，你打这边正好相关。你拿那个红的找他这个黄的。
找第二右边边吧。
对呀对呀，你找这俩，然后你坐脑袋上面把让个那个第一个球，他自己的球和这黄球甩开，自己那个红球留那儿就没事儿。对，然后下把他要再进来，咱还能抡。你这边这个黄球你要找的话，你打不好相关性是重的。对，不这边不动。 先打那个红的，挤黄的，把黄的挤出去，把自己脑袋甩出去，把那球留那儿就行，明不明白？啊，让他最下边和自己的球走，然后那红球留那儿，下巴还能软。
打外脚。
对，打外脚，打外脚。啊，打外脚打一半都行。啊，加油。
So did call a quick timeout just to get an overview from the coach. Often it's just about confirmation of what the athletes could see anyway. Liang, getting used to seeing the big weight and the shouts, raising his own against the yellow. Another stone goes, another couple of stones.
Kan vara lite strävare där, jag vet inte.
Där är bra.
Kom igen, Mackan.
Ja! Känns lite plus ändå, va?
Ja, men vill du dra
Just hoping to get one into the house, but again the weight is too heavy. It leaves just one yellow vulnerable, and that will disappear soon. Another good clearance from Zhang Liang. And right now, China lie 1. As we head in onto the skip stones. Really that 6 in the 4th end just knocked the oomph out of this Swedish team. It was a sore one. Look at those reds lined up. Commanding position, China, as they have been throughout this game. There's this draw looking for Peterson Dahl. Ideally like it to come round as much as he can behind the red, and that's a really good effort from the Swedish skip. Good judgment.
Men sätter de den här?
Is it completely buried? Not quite. Well, definitely has his eye on that. Swedish Yellowstone. Stats 96%. straight down this center line for China. It's curling a bit now, it's curling. Is he going to get it? Yes, he does. Another fabulous takeout from Wang Haitao. I'm slightly worried it would catch his red on the top of that forfeit area, but whistled past it. And any sign of any Yellowstone is gone. Peterson down will just try and do the same again. Try and get it to curl as much as he can. They're going curl, 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 curl. So almost a replica of his previous stone. Two excellent draws from the Swedish skip here. Against this Chinese onslaught. And again, Wang Haitao will have to watch that red closest to the Swedish yellow. You wouldn't bet against him, would you? Even if there's a slither of yellow he can see, that's enough for him. Final stone of the seventh end. Wang Haitao. Big weight again. Whoa, just past it yet again. And another super takeout from the Chinese skip. And they've called it. They've called it. That is the end of the game. They won't go to a final end. Just too much for Sweden to do. They want to build for their next game. What a victory by this Chinese team. Disappointment for Sweden. But again, played in excellent spirit. And China, unstoppable against an excellent Swedish team that just couldn't do anything about it. Every one of their players up to the mark. Chinese fans will be very happy. Takeouts with precision and perfection from the skip. This is why they're the world champions and the current Paralympic champions from Beijing. And it's another win for China, win number 7. Final score, People's Republic of China 12, Sweden 3. And their stats in this game, excellent. In particular, Wang Haitao in the 90s. Everything just worked out. Lead player, Christina Olander, a bit of a standout for Sweden, but definitely below average compared to how they've previously performed. But another day and another game, it could all change. Facing an excellent Chinese team. Hard one to take, though. Comparison of the game stats. 80% accuracy to 57%. Takeouts, 87% for China, 53. And the draws as well. The draws were absolutely key. And just the one stolen point, China made the most of a hammer when they had it. And boy, did they make the most of it. They are most definitely the team in form and gaining momentum into the semi-finals. China and Canada definitely through from last night. Let's take a look at the standings. Confirmation of those two qualifying countries. Sweden still in there, and Korea, and possibly Italy, depending on the outcome of other games. That's the situation